This is James Helder for IFL TV in association with Macklin's Gym Marbella. I'm at the press conference today with Billy Joe Saunders versus Chris Eubank Jr. As you probably heard, Chris Eubank Jr. didn't show up today. Frank Wong, can I get your initial reaction to that, please, sir?
As always, very, very disappointed. And angry, but it's a point. It seems like it's a pointless exercise. Chris Eubank Sr. is just causing more and more problems with trying to get these guys together. And it's some of these demands and his take on the matter are totally ridiculous. The British Boxing Board of Control have written to him, even though he's not a licence holder, and to his manager, his official manager, who is Ronnie Davis, saying that they were more than satisfied with the security measures we took in place and we had in place, and he should attend the press conference.
There was a lot of rumours going about that a £50,000 escrow was requested from Chris Eubank Sr.
They're not rumours, they're facts.
Can you talk to me about that?
Well, he asked that Billy Joe put in £50,000 bond, and if he lays a finger on Chris Eubanks Jr., that he will forfeit the 50,000 quid. I mean, what is that all about? And what happens if Chris Eubanks pushes him or does something untoward? Is he not allowed to defend himself? Has he got to stand there or lose 50 grand? The whole thing's stupid. This is a press conference, for God's sake. It's not even the fight. I mean, it's just beyond ridiculous.
Is it quite frustrating that Billy Joe Saunders has never reacted at a press conference or struck out at an opponent during a build-up to a fight? He's represented his country in the Olympics, again of good standing. Do you find that quite frustrating with them comments from the Eubanks?
Well, he's been a model pro, hasn't he, as far as boxing is concerned? As you say, he represented his country very proudly at a very young age of 18 in the Olympic Games, and he's done everything that's been asked of him as a pro, and done it, over and above the call of duty. British, Commonwealth, European champion. He's been, he's just been a model pro. It's very, very, very disappointing, and I'm sure Chris Eubank Jr. at the end of the day is. I think deep down he'd probably like to be here. It's just a shame that his father's being so awkward and come up with these ridiculous demands. Do
you honestly believe he does want to show and he's kind of being maybe kept out of the media spotlight by his dad?
Well, that's how you've got to look at it. That's how I look at it. Bill made a very valid point in the press conference. He said young Christopher is 25 years of age, and maybe he should be making up his own mind on things. I don't know, but the fact of the matter is he isn't here. It doesn't help. It's no good of me, trying to wonder why and what's going on in their minds. To be quite honest, I'm not really interested in what's going on in their minds. All I'm interested in is having the press conference so that we can get the two guys together, so that the press can get what they need from it, so the public can get what they need from it, so we promote the fight properly like we always do. We've got BT, we're going to do something today with both of them. It's very difficult to get them, to get new TV companies involved in boxing and get them to support it. And the first time we do, this happens. He lets it down. They let down British boxing. They're not helping British boxing. They're letting us down.
With Ronnie Davis being his manager on paper, do you think the involvement from Chris Eubank Sr. not being represented in boxing maybe tarnishing the fight?
I just think that the fans would want to see what I want. We want them together. This is how it works. How are we supposed to promote shows if it's not just about selling tickets? It's about we've got radio. Radio want their sound bites that is going out on radio as well. Box Nation is a subscription channel. We're looking to drive subscriptions, and the way you drive subscriptions is through publicity, so that this comes out. This is a big fight in the trade, but outside the trade, it's not. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get the crossover fans, and the only way we can get the crossover fans is for these boxers to be in the newspapers regularly, for these fighters to have media exposure from TV, radio, etc. And it's just not happening.
Last time Chris Eubank Sr. addressed a press conference, he said about trying potentially to get the promotion to go to Brighton. Do you think by not turning up today, he's again making that case and that argument for you guys to go to Brighton?
It's not for him to decide where press conferences are going place. He's a challenger. Bill's the British, Commonwealth and European champion, and more importantly, we're having a press conference, in the venue where the fight's taking place. It's not taking place in Brighton. End of story. Who's he to dictate where a press conference takes place? it's outrageous.
Do you think it runs a risk of becoming the Chris Eubank Sr. show, Frank?
Well, that's what we've got to stop from happening, and that's really what worries me about it. You know, the distraction from the fight to all this controversy over stupid things like press conferences. The people don't want to hear from me. They don't want to hear from Chris Eubank Sr. They want to hear from the two fighters. They're the ones who matter. They're the ones who are fighting. You know, what Chris Eubank Sr., you know, he's getting his moment in the sun again. What he's got to say, you know, that's a small, very small part of this. It's the boxers that they've come to see. The press today came today to hear from the two fighters who are fighting for the British, Commonwealth and European title.
Can you remember a situation like this in the past where the contracts just for the press conference has maybe outweighed the negotiations for the purse, Frank?
No. It's been, you know, the purse negotiations we dealt with very quickly. It's the rest of the stuff that's been a pain in the backside, and it has been a pain in the backside.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of a pain has it been, Frank?
20.
I can see you're seething today by them not turning up. I honestly can. Because it's not helping the promotion, it's not helping the subscriptions, is it?
It's not helping anything. It doesn't. And more importantly, it's not helping Chris Eubank Jr. It's not helping him.
All right. Well, listen, Frank. We look forward to more developments as they happen. Last but not least, sorry to bring you back in. Curtis Woodhouse. We just saw some tweets from him, effectively saying that the reason why Billy Joe Jones hasn't come face to face with Chris Eubank Jr. today. Have you got a response for Curtis?
Who cares about Curtis Woodhouse? I mean, you know, where is he on the scale of British and Commonwealth and European titles? You know, Curtis Woodhouse is, you know, what is he? He's done well as a professional footballer and done as best as he could in boxing. Who cares about Curtis Woodhouse? I mean, you know, what is that got to do with his promotion? And who, you know, and what he's got to say have any effect on anything? Does anybody actually care? You know, go back to managing his football club or whatever he does. Go chasing trolls. He's a worse troll than the trollers.
So it's safe to say he won't be on the...
Is he a troll or a trog?
It's safe to say he won't be on the Dennis Hobson card then.
Sorry?
He won't be on the Dennis Hobson card.
I've told Dennis Hobson he's got more chance of flying in the air of him fighting on any of our shows. It will never, ever, ever happen.
All right. Cheers, Frank. That concludes today. Thank you very much.
Mate.